All right, so you guys know there's something boiling in my bones. I have to speak about it, darling. So recently, the public was outraged. So they said about the new Moschino Barbie commercial, which features a little boy as little Jeremy Scott, and he says that Moschino Barbie is so fierce, and some parents, there was kind of a 50-50 split about this. Some parents thought that it was great that Mattel, after 54 years of being in the business with Barbie, they finally featured a little boy in an ad. So it was for these dolls. It was for the release of these Moschino Barbie dolls by the one and only Mr. Jeremy Scott. And I got 3 of these. I have 2 black girls and I have 1 Caucasian Barbie. And they have the old school 90s Barbie face molds. They're all the same. I got hooked up because my girl over at Moschino called me like, yo, the dolls is coming out. And you guys know I have to. The reason why I brought 3 of them is because the extra clothes and things, I didn't want to open these because my doll is actually almost finished and he needs some Moschino. I mean, that's only right? But I did want to talk about how some people are saying there's a gay agenda that we are trying in the press and the people in the world and the fish and the grass is trying to press upon people. Especially with everything from Caitlyn Jenner coming out to just a whole lot of things that have been gay friendly. A lot of people have been very uncomfortable about that. And trust me, as a gay man, I understand this and I deal with this on a regular basis. And I feel like a lot of times adults make things that are not supposed to be the certain ways into something that it's not. So pretty much you're finding a tick on an ant. And what I mean by that is the little boy in the commercial was representing something that as a child, I always wanted to be a part of. I was a little boy who played with Barbies, clearly. Every little boy does not play, every little gay boy didn't play with Barbies, but I know I did. And clearly Jeremy Scott did too. And he has this thing and this affinity towards Barbie that he just loves. And I don't see anything wrong with that. What I do find an issue with is that people always yelling about what's not good for the kids when it's nothing that's of any harm, in my personal opinion. I don't have children. I only have cousins, nieces and nephews, stuff like that. And what I will say is when I was a child, there were things that adults would make a big deal over that wasn't a big deal. And what people are not understanding is it is 2015, okay? If you are still living in 1902, you're the one with the issue and the problem because you're not growing. What people don't understand is that if I was able to see something like what that little boy did in that commercial, I cried watching that because it represents something that I never had as a kid. And again, there's a lot of things that people will watch. A lot of women who have been through miscarriages and abortion and cry when they go to like Toys R Babies R Us or whatever the situation is because it reminds them of something that they don't have and it kind of hits a nerve. It doesn't do anything for me, but I'm not saying that if a woman feels that way or they represent or they see something or they have support groups for stuff like that and stuff like that, that it's wrong because I personally haven't went through it. A lot of these women, and I'm just going to say what it is, a lot of these is the little hood ones that have something to say, well, them it's not good for kids to be saying that shit like that on TV. What's not good for your children and what's not healthy for your children is the fact that he called your boyfriend his uncle. That's not conducive for your children's growth pattern, okay? Still waiting after 10 years for his daddy to come back from the fucking store. Bitch, that is a problem. That is an issue. The fact that you've been on the county since you had your kids and your child is going on 18 and now you don't know what you're going to do next year, that there lies a problem. What other people do in their other life and how a company chooses to represent something that they feel passionate about, because you have to understand, Mattel is a brand, okay? And a majority of the people who buy Barbies are men. Believe what you want, they're men. And a majority of them are gay men. So know this. That was something that a lot of us Barbie collectors really had a moment with, and a lot of people want to come and be negative and tear it down. There's this gay agenda. I stopped watching Empire because this. I stopped watching this. Listen, honey, Empire is not for everybody, okay? But they did tell a story that a lot of us have been through, okay? I ain't never been thrown in the trash. However, it's been something close to it, okay? I've been through a lot. There's a lot of people from my community have been through a lot of that. So to see that pushed into people's faces, to see that we go through shit too. We have issues too. Don't try to dim my light because you're uncomfortable with how bright I shine. That's a problem for me. That's a big issue for me. And again, I don't ask nobody to accept who I am, have to fuck with me on a regular basis. I don't ask you what your personal feelings are about me because I really don't give a fuck. But what I do and would like to appreciate is if there are people in the world who are making strides for a particular community, don't try to knock them down because you don't like it. You feel uncomfortable with it. Cool. There's a lot of shit that I see on TV all the time, and people are yelling, well, it's not good for the children to see this. Well, as a child, I knew that I was gay from a very small child. So you're trying to tell me there was a straight agenda? If you want to be just 100 with it, I didn't want to see a man and a woman kissing because that didn't represent what I did. But did I get mad about it? No. Am I writing letters about it? No. Am I leaving mean comments about it? No. That's how the world is. The world is a mosh posh of all types of shit. And there's going to be shit that you like and shit you do not like. But at the end of the day, when you spew hate and disrespect for a particular group of people, when your group of people have been in this very same seat, it just makes you look ungrateful and uneducated about the history and what you come from. Because at the end of the day, I will never take nobody's struggle away from them. However you got your shit or where you come from, that's your business. But I am not about to sit up here and try to make you feel bad about something that you really feel passionately about. And I feel like a group of people had an issue with that. Just case in point, there was an issue of American Girl that came out recently, and it was a young African American girl who was adopted by 2 Caucasian males. And when they found out that she had 3 little brothers in foster care, they adopted them too. They did a story on her in the magazine, and the Million Moms decided that they wanted to go in and say that this is a problem and this is pushing the gay agenda down people's throats and children shouldn't see this. Listen, your children are going to go to school, and your children are going to be one of 2 people who are accepting or people who are not, okay? Because I'm going to tell you something. When I was in school, I was called everything but my name by motherfuckers who didn't understand who I was because their parents were not educating them on it's more than just straight in this world. There's more than just white or black or Mexican in this world. And that's where you parents have to come in and actually educate your children because they are a reflection of you. If they're out here acting a motherfucking mess, that means that at home, your ass is acting a fucking mess too. So therefore, you are only an extension of your child, and your child is an extension of you. So if y'all both as stupid as a motherfucker, the world is going to see that, and you're going to make it very difficult because one day what you fail to understand and realize is somebody who is gay may be your boss. They don't give a fuck about how you personally feel about them, but this is why people don't move up in the world and they cannot go forward in the world. They let personal shit become business shit, and then you fuck up and then you don't have anything because you're letting who your boss sleep with has nothing to do with you, because I can guarantee your boss don't give a fuck who you fucking at night. They don't care. Are you doing your job? It's that simple. There's a lot of people who dislike me because of videos like this, because I tell the truth, or you don't like it, or I have a child right now. It doesn't matter, because if you're not teaching your children tolerance, they're going to have a very, very hard ass life. That's why a lot of times when I see kids end up in very bad situations, I start to look at the reflection of the parents. The parent want to say that my child is a victim, my child is this. And 9 times out of 10, they are. But that little 1% is because you didn't do what the fuck you were supposed to do. And you want everybody to be the victim now. You want everybody to say, well, my child is, he didn't do anything. He did a lot to a lot of motherfuckers. And what he got is what he got because that's the situation that he was in. You know? So my mother and father and granny and grandparents taught me what to do and what not to do. Okay? I am better than no one else in this world. I have to make sure that I am just as humble to her as I would be to him. Because at the end of the day, when you walk away from a conversation with me, I want you to understand who I am as a person. Not this. Okay? Not who I sleep with that night, because that's none of your business. And I don't care about that. But who I am as an individual, as a whole. I want people to start to understand that, listen, if we both get shot today, we both gonna end up enduring the same pain because you and I are no different in here. Is you letting this determine if you fuck with somebody or you don't. There's a lot of shit I don't like. There's a lot of shit that I don't understand. There's a lot of shit I don't fucking respect. But my opinion is not the end all be all. And I'm not going to sit up here and judge somebody else about what their truth is. Period. If you don't like it, don't comment. And that's it. Sometimes the best things not said are the greatest things ever. Because what the fuck you don't say to somebody, hey, it's what it is. But sometimes what you do say can leave a lasting and scarring impression on people. So if you didn't like the little boy in a Moschino commercial, that's fine, because there was 2 other girls in the commercial too. And you know, the crazy thing about it is everybody's always yelling about how Barbie does not represent the African American community. There was a beautiful, natural, black little girl in that commercial. And you know what they complained about? The Caucasian little boy who just simply was being himself. In this world, in this society where we live, you can't win for lose. Because wherever you find a resolution, there's going to always be another problem. You know? So, again, start to think about how you want to be treated by people. And start to understand. You don't have to understand and you don't have to accept anything. There's a lot of people from the trans community who hate Caitlyn Jenner. There's a lot of people who think she's doing a courageous thing and they call her sister. Whatever. I don't care. At the end of the day, just make sure that you're respecting people like you want to be respected. And again, back to the Moschino commercial. That is a child. That is a child who got a job and did a hell of a job to represent something that I don't even think he understands the cultural impact that's going to have in the next 50 years. So watch what you say and watch how you say it about children. That's the problem. Everybody wants to be so big and bad and heartless over the computer. Remember, one day these can be your children. And I know y'all don't like nobody talking shit about y'all kids. So I'll catch y'all in the next one. But think about what the fuck I just said. Because for real, shit is getting out of hand. And shout out to Paris.